Okay, welcome to another Sengoku Jidai battle. In this match, I have the Japanese Home Army versus the Ming Southern Army. So, my army is better at close combat and is well armored, but also expensive and just overall less flexible. The Ming Southern Army will have lots of artillery, lots of shooty infantry, and mounted archers. So I'll need to find a way to just charge into contact, basically. It's a nice wide open field, so I might bother bringing some cavalry, although then again, there's also a lot of rice paddies he could just hide in, so I'm not sure about that. I might bring just one unit of cheap cavalry, my sole unit of light cannons that I can bring along. I should go to archers to counter the cavalry. And I should probably bring matchlock men. The monks are cheap because they lack armor, so they're vulnerable to arrows, but mostly I feel like his men will be using cannons, crossbows, and guns, none of which care about armor anyway. So we'll use the monks to pad out our numbers. Temple Samurai for fire support. Although their unit size is smaller than the Temple Ashigaru, because they're superior, that makes up for the lack of firepower a little bit. By making them shoot more steadily or accurately, essentially. They also have swordsman trait, so they should be able to do a decent job in melee. So that leaves me 96 points. I think I should probably just spend it on more infantry. The question is, do I want numerous cheaper infantry or high quality infantry? I'm leaning towards numerous and cheap. Grab this unit of Ashigaru Spearmen and one more unit of Matchlock Men. And that'll do it. Alright, deployment. So, as usual with Japanese armies, the commands are preset. So we need to look at who is in which command and decide how to deploy based on that. Open ground, forest. So who do we have that's good for fighting in forests? Monks and, of course, matchlock men. Very good. Our cavalry, our sole cavalry unit will be shifting around that way. Our only artillery unit, center of the battlefield, fair enough. Perhaps this force, that's actually probably better suited to fighting in the woods. Alright, we'll change our minds then. No big deal. Okay. Sohei. They're garbage, but they'll do fine in a forest. Along with the sword-armed later Ashigaru. Confusing myself here. It is tough with the preset commands to figure out how you're going to deploy. Alright, where do we want our Temple Samurai? There are only skirmishers. It's all a bit of a mess, but we'll figure it out. There. Anyway, the Teppo Samurai will want 1 to rush through the forest there, and I think 1 to occupy these rice paddies in this temple as needed. They can take cover from there and take pot shots at enemy cavalry, or get ridden down in the intervening. Alright, let's see his deployment and what he's brought to the field. Lots of artillery. 1, 2, 3, 4 units. 2 of them are light guns with a range of 6. Something must be here. Sending infantry into the forest, and that's honestly good news for us. 3 units of cavalry. Alright, Teppo Samurai to the rice paddies. And we want some Teppo Ashigaru to support the fight here. I think we will need to do so, to be honest. And the monks can avoid the cavalry as they're vulnerable without spears. Kind of extend our line this way and just push the cavalry back and then try to hit the open flank of the infantry. Or something. Into the woods. Looks like he sent some ranged infantry into the forest. We should be able to cut them up quite badly. Oh, nothing there. Good. So that's the extreme range of his light guns. I think I will send my Yumi Ashigaru to assist fighting the cavalry, as their range ought to be useful for that. And more monks to fight in the wood. And reserves. Yeah, we're not being subtle, we're just going to throw everyone forward. Next turn. These large units count as large artillery targets and take more casualties from cannon fire. Alright. Teppo Samurai into the rice paddies. Ashigaru forward. Cannons forward. Sohei to the forest. Yadizamanai into line. Archers to the flank with the horsemen. We're going to have to stand under cannon fire for a little while, but we can at least commence action on this flank. Let's see if he doesn't turn to face and fire, and then we can catch them. Okay, so in 2 turns we'll begin a general advance, but we'll have to stand under cannon fire for 1 more turn. Next turn. Okay, let's get the spearmen forward. And our archers. Very good. So the impact is bad because the front rank of spearmen gives them impact, and we only have swords. But if we can just hold out, we have the advantage. And again, our raw troops would normally be at more of a disadvantage against average troops, but it doesn't matter because both units are disordered, which kind of evens things out, and we have a larger unit, so we'll win that in the long run. So these are average, the Quijia Bubing, no, you had to say that, armored heavy weapon troops, and we have unarmored heavy weapon troops, and of course, heavy weapon negates armor. So that's a win for us there. Wonder which is worse. It's kind of a waste of my men either way. Let's charge in, see how we do. And then next turn, I will just begin to charge, essentially. Okay. Next turn. Disrupt, which is nice, but it doesn't really make any difference in the combat calculations because we're also disordered. Another disrupt on the fallback there. We'll need to rescue this unit soon. Right, you can charge in again. We're gonna brave some fire here. Could try to see them off, but you know what, I'm going to just ignore them for now. Which I know is very dangerous, so with that in mind, we'll get spearmen ready to engage. Yeah, this is awkward, but I think it's worth it if we can wrap this up and start getting more units into contact. In the meantime, I think we can commence our push. Again, a flank attack next turn. And I'll leave this as a reserve in case these cavalry push in this direction. Next turn. Yeah, hopefully we don't disrupt before contact. Nice timing for him. Ah, it's too bad. Let me pass our cohesion check. Uh-oh. Have to get in there quick. Well, charge, for one thing. Get that flank off. Didn't lead to a frag, so it doesn't really matter, because now we're disordered to their disrupted. Alright. Zone of control lock, that tile. Take another round of arrow fire, well, 2 rounds, but now they can't fall back. Push into the rice paddies. And fire. The awkward to protect these archers is these medium foot cannot charge horsemen. Right, push into charge range of this unit. Okay, we are at some risk for mass disruption this next turn, so we'll have to take 2 rounds of fire. But if we survive that, we should be able to just crash into his shooty troops. None of these troops have melee capabilities except... Nope, those are just archers too. The only infantry unit he has with melee capabilities is Ming here. So, yeah, if we can just hold in the forest, which I think we will, then we should be able to sweep over this line. Next turn. Oh, that is unfortunate. Gonna have to take another round of fire then. Oh, they're doomed. It's gonna open up a big gap on one side of my line, and that rally saved them. Very painful turn. Oh no. Okay. Well, revenge is coming, hopefully. Get our general out of there. Have to protect this flank, because we're going to lose that unit. Yeah. Lock them in. Good, problem solved. It's gonna free them up, unfortunately. Let's keep harassing. There's nothing for it. We're gonna lose this unit now. In we go. Excellent. Frag. And let's send these back to help deal with this situation. Cover that flank. This is annoying. It's a huge waste of points to deal with not that many units. I'm gonna have to tank a volley, I think. Don't like it. Zone of control locked. Very well. Go. I think I do not want to move here and get shot at. I'd rather have him come out and shoot at me. And keep shuffling these guns to do something with that. Good work with this cavalry. Huge distraction. Hopefully we can cave him in here before it matters. Next turn. Oh, yeah. Oh, that's too bad. And they fall back and maintain their cohesion. That's also bad. This could be going better. Oh good, at least we can free up some units here. We're going to need them soon. Ouch. Okay. Good timing. Of course, this is a small-sized unit, so it's still going to be at a disadvantage. So we're even because of the combat strength modifier, despite being up 100 POA. Hopefully they come back to the fight soon, because we need them to wrap around. Good. You can now lock them in. Can only hope to frag this unit now. Good. In that case, we can turn about and get infantry reinforcements into the center. That's it, huh? Alright. This is good. If we can start rolling this, and I think we've contained the cavalry threat. We'll lose this because his cavalry is higher quality. And our lances are only for impact, but it doesn't really matter if we lose this because we're pushing on ahead. And we look to have successfully locked in both other units of cavalry. Next turn. I fell back and held firm, so we're going to get shot up quite badly here. Frag. It's a large unit too, so it's going to take a chunk out of our route percent. Very nice. Okay. Very good. Well, it'll take a while for these units to get back into the action. Have these later Ashigaru flank this unit. Very good. And aha, so these are just regular archers with no front rank of light spear. Question being, should I charge here or charge this unit to see if it falls back so we can hit it in the flank? Probably that. No such luck. Very good. I'm going to loop these later Teppo Ashigaru back around so that if he decides to hold off, we can get some firepower on them. Impact is okay because of our lance ability, but everything else is terrible. Okay. That's it. I think we should be able to destroy his center before his victorious wing comes back to haunt us. Next turn. Should bounce them. Yeah. That's unfortunate. Duel. And no one falls. Alright, what can we do? This unit's in pretty bad shape. I think they should flee. Ouch. Out of the line of fire is what I was gonna say. Fragged, good. We should break that unit shortly then. Take a hit. Can shoot over intervening units regardless of elevation with arrows in this game. And prevent any fallback and start pouring in fire next turn. If there is a next turn, which I'm guessing there is not due to the collapse of this unit and this unit. And we're getting a good game. And there we have it. What could my opponent have done differently? I think he should have invested either more or less in taking this forest. As things stood, this is kind of a wash, and the troops that he did have victorious couldn't get back into the fight in time. With more troops, he could have won it more quickly and turned them around. Sorry about that. With less, he could have just defended the edge of the forest where my men would have been disordered coming out of it. His cavalry investment was kind of expensive. It didn't pay off. I think later when I shifted a whole bunch of troops over, it was difficult for him to do anything. But before that, I think he could have advanced to within 2 tiles and disrupted my average cavalry pretty easily, maybe gotten one through. For the main line, I personally would have invested less in artillery. They're nice for those early disruptions, but once the main lines hit, they're not really capable of doing much. So maybe a couple more melee units, those light spear heavy weapon types, could have come in useful. Yeah, there we have it. So, good game to my opponent, and until next time.